Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Global Happiness Specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington, Happiness Specialist, Inner Peace Practitioner, Teacher, Student of the Universe. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for the emails. And let me give right out at the beginning of the show, let me give a shout out to one of my listeners that sent me a message last week, and I really appreciate you, E.G. Thank you so much for sending me that message. I am always open to hearing the truth, always open. And one of, when I say happiness specialist, what the happiness, well, the happiness, let me just give you a definition. My definition of happiness is the ability to be at peace regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen in your life. Are you able to vibrate, be that energy of peace regardless of external circumstances? That means you're standing in the middle of a rowboat in the Atlantic Ocean. The waves are crashing, the storms are hitting, but you're peaceful. And life is an analogy of the storm. This life is there are always fires to put out. There is always something going on. There's always challenges in my life too. Just because I'm a happiness specialist doesn't mean that the challenges don't exist. But the practices, and let me give you my definition. I already gave you my definition, but let me say happiness is a practiced skill. And so with that, anyone can practice. It just depends on the individual. And so let me ask you, my dear audience, on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is peace and happiness in your life from 1 to 10? And if it's not a 10, what is a 10? What is the 9? What is the 8? One of the things I like to share, especially at the beginning of the show, is there's a very famous study done by a hospice nurse. Her name is Bronnie Ware. You can Google it. It's called the 5 most common regrets of the dying. The 5 most common regrets of the dying. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty powerful. They're on their way out. They have days to live, weeks to live, months to live. And guess what? Guess what those 5 biggest regrets are? There was they kept coming back to those same 5 regrets. Well, the first one is, I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. I wish I didn't work so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. I wish I would have stayed in touch with my friends. And the last one is, I wish I would have been happier. And so here you are, and welcome to the show. And that is the focus on this show. That is always the focus, the truth about happiness. Now, if you listen to or if you look out into the world, I bring this up only because there was an article written on Will Smith in November, GQ article in November 2021. And he stated, he says, I wanted to be the biggest movie star, one of the biggest movie stars in the world. He wanted all this success, and guess what? It's been accomplished. I would vote yes. But in that article, you know what Will Smith said? He said with all of those things that he accomplished, he wasn't happy. And that's what this show is about, getting down to what I think, what I value. And when I say happiness, happiness is not it's a practice skill, and it's nothing out there. Nothing can make me happy. No one, nothing. Happiness is a state of mind. It's a vibration. It's an energy. It's a foundation. It becomes your identity with the practice. So that means that whatever is happening, whatever happens, you are either responding to life or reacting to life. And the reacting to life is a program. The reacting to life is something happens and now you're reacting. Somebody cuts you off in traffic and now you're angry. Or you find out that you lost your wallet. There's a reaction. So there's a difference between responding and reacting. And responding is always a conscious behavior, a conscious action, which means you paused and you took a moment to choose between what is going to bring you peace or what is going to bring you drama. Because we all have that decision before we react at any time. Is what I'm going to do, is what I'm going to say going to bring me peace or drama? I was talking to one of my neighbors this week, and she has her husband is in hospice, and let me just switch that up. I don't want to give too much information. You know what? Let me strike that whole story. Let me strike that whole story for now. But the point is still the same. Choosing peace over drama. So the question again is on a scale from 1 to 10. How important is it for you to be at peace? And then what is your definition of happiness, my dear audience? What is your definition? What is your personal definition? Because one of the things I always say is we are as different as our fingerprints. And so with that, what is your definition of happiness? Mine is the ability to be at peace regardless of what happens in this life. And also to be able to smile and be at peace on my deathbed. That's it. That's enough for me. What is subtracting from your happiness today, especially in 2022? Especially in 2022? That's the only place we are in 2022, especially in 2022. Wow, that was out there. And are you as happy, are you as peaceful when you're faced with life's inevitable challenges? Answer yes or no to these questions. Only you can answer. Answer yes or no. Can other people hurt your feelings? Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? And I'm here to tell you that the practice works. But before the practice can work, it's going to take a commitment. And it's going to take a commitment, you prioritizing peace. I can't do that for you, especially when we get a little older. The things that I thought were important in my 20s and my 30s, they're just not important anymore. I'm going to tell you this one story. If you listen to the show, 5 months ago, I moved from living in the middle of the forest in Oregon to a desert, to Las Vegas. And in the middle of the forest, I called it the tree house. It was a custom-built home with mahogany wood, walnut staircases. It's beautiful. It was my dream home. And now I'm living in a rental. And yesterday I just had to tape one of the cabinets shut because it keeps coming open. I bumped my leg on it before, more than once. And when I arrived 5 months ago, I'm looking, wow, this needs to be fixed. This needs to be changed. This needs to be totally dissatisfied. The energy of dissatisfaction with where I was living. Yeah, okay, I chose it, but you're renting. But today, there was so much peace and satisfaction putting my third bit of tape over that cabinet to keep it closed, because what was important 5 months ago isn't important today. And that is the practice. The practice, let me just give a little bit of there are when I say happiness is a practice skill, it's like any other skill. The more you commit to the practice, and it's daily, the better results. So the first part of the practice starts with eliminating those behaviors that have been proven to subtract from your happiness, those program behaviors. We didn't pop out of the womb, blaming someone else for how you feel, taking things personally, having expectations, comparing yourself to other people. You had to learn all of those behaviors. So the first part of the practice is recognizing, putting a spotlight on those program behaviors that are subtracting from your peace. And when I say peace, it is a vibration. When I say happiness is a vibration, it's the same vibration of feeling content, feeling balanced, feeling at ease, feeling at peace. It's the same. The word, it is an energy. It is a vibration. That's what I'm talking about. So let the words, because that's another thing. Let the words go. The words are, I know we were taught that words are powerful, but the words is not my focus. It's the energy and the vibration, which is my focus. So I'm asking a question. How many out there in the, and before I go on, the number to call in and speak with me, and if you want to ask a question, is area code 646. Sometimes I forget to give this number. Area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619, and press the number 1, and I'll know that you'll have a question or you want to make a comment. And that's that. So I have a few people in the queue. Back to what I was saying. So eliminating the behaviors that have been proven to subtract from happiness. Another program behavior is having attachments to material things, attachments to people. The other thing, oh my goodness, this is a big one. It is so rampant in today's world. You know those race horses? My father was a big racing fan, and he would watch the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, Belmont Stakes, and then what does he want Breeders' Cup. You see those race horses, or even a horse, that have those blinders on the side of their faces, so on the side of their eyes, not on their faces, on the side of their eyes, so they can't see right or left. And that is another practice. One of the biggest things that's going on right now in the world is noticing what other people are doing, making a judgment about it, making a comment about it. All of that behavior subtracts from your peace, especially when they wouldn't do what you would do. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Same thing. I got my hand up. Noticing what other people are doing and making a judgment. The problem with that is that subtracts from your peace and your happiness. So the practice is to stay out of everybody else's business. Let the universe, let God handle them. And I use the term universe, God, interchangeable with spirit, energy, whatever term you want to use. Again, words are not powerful for me. It's the energy, it's the vibration. So let me get to today's topic. Ooh. And I have to say, this is one of the things that really, if I notice too much, it just drives me crazy. It's this big push. Scratch it. It's not a big push. It is a constant barrage of selling dissatisfaction. You've heard of selling sex sells. Dissatisfaction sells like you would not believe. And what is that? What are you talking about, Rebecca? Dissatisfaction. What are you talking about? Let me get my little article here. I get a lot of emails. Let's see. There was an article, and this was from, I just saw this on the internet. Spiritual singles. The dissatisfaction if you aren't in a relationship. The dissatisfaction if you aren't tall enough or you're not you're not at the weight that you want to be. The dissatisfaction of how much money is in your bank. The dissatisfaction of your accomplishments. The hook is how do people know what to sell? The programming, scratch the people. The programming knows what to do and what to sell. Sell dissatisfaction. I mean, no one's talking about feeling satisfied in every specific moment, having that vibration of satisfaction. And when I say having that vibration of dissatisfaction, I promise you, if you're dissatisfied in this moment, you are going to be dissatisfied in future moments. So the practice is eliminating that vibration of feeling dissatisfied in any moment. And I don't care what's happening in your life. I don't care what the circumstances are. There is a vibration of satisfaction of just being present, just being alive, the gift of life. I know it's corny, I know, so it's not about not doing anything or not accomplishing anything, but vibrating satisfaction first. Scratch that, because it's going to be a combination. I'm not going to put that much pressure on you. I'm not going to say vibrate satisfaction first and then you'll be fine. No, it is and that's another thing. Growth is gradual. Patience with yourself. Patience with life, the practice of being patient will add to your peace, will add to your vibration of contentment, will add to your happiness. The practice of being patient. Because one of the things when you're dissatisfied, it's I want something done, I want something changed, I want it right now. Let's go. I want this now. But there is a peace in allowing the universe to do its work, to do its job in the time, with the timing of the with universal timing. Universal timing, not my timing, because my ego will tell me it should have happened yesterday. Why isn't this happening now? My ego will always remind me what's missing. My ego will always point out what's wrong. My ego will always point out, ego, mind, that critical voice that I can't silence. I haven't been able to find a way to silence it. And guess what? I'm not trying to silence it. I just recognize that all of the comments or all of the thoughts from my ego/mind are suspect. So it's just recognizing and either giving the thoughts from the ego and mind power or not. Let's get back to selling dissatisfaction. Let me just say, let me go back to the spiritual singles. One of the things that they were talking about, and I'm going to throw in even being satisfied with health. That's right, even health. I'm 66 years old, believe it or not. I can't believe it, and I can't even believe I'm saying it. 66 years old. And there are certain bodily things that just don't feel like they used to. They just don't. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let any of my aches or my pains or anything that's going along with the body, not my body, the body, anything that's happening with the body is going to take anything away from my peace. That's not. Because of the practice, when you're prioritizing vibrating the energy of peace, guess what? There's nothing that's going to intersect that, including health or the body issues. Let's see. The world comes at all angles. The world comes at you at all angles. You're single. Where's your mate? And you know what's not taught and what's not talked about? It's okay. It's all right to be by yourself. It's okay not to be in a relationship. In fact, let me say this. Don't tell anybody. Shh. I haven't, and I'm around a lot of people, no people in a relationships, haven't witnessed any relationship that I would want. And if I asked, and I mean I've asked married couples a lot, more than a notion, they need breaks. My closest friend needs breaks. When I say needing a break, I don't hear anyone talking about, when I say breaks, a personal break, to refuel, a personal break, to be alone, a personal break to reconnect. The practice is being okay, feeling satisfied, vibrating satisfaction in all present moments. In all moments. It doesn't matter if your car is breaking down. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter. The vibration of peace when it's a practice becomes a lifestyle. Let me just look at and let me just talk about feelings for a second. And there are no exceptions to the rules on this. I don't know. Put your seatbelt on this one. Your feelings are your responsibility. Sorry. If you're an adult, your feelings are your responsibility. Here's a quick analogy. Most people take the trash out during the day, take the garbage out. It's usually a chore for someone in the household. And so if you live in the family, people have their chores, take the trash out. That's the same thing with emotions. You wouldn't ask your neighbor or a stranger to take out your trash. And I'm not saying your emotions are trash. I'm just trying to give an analogy. And now that I'm looking at it and thinking about it, it may not be the best analogy. But your feelings are your responsibility. But the programming taught me that my feelings are the responsibility of the world, of my family, of my mate, of the community. The truth is, it's not your circumstances. It's not the relationship you do or don't have. It's not the election or who won the election. It's not the price of gas. It's not the weather. It's not your health or the aches and pains in life. Your children, your parents, your happiness, your feelings are your responsibility. So the solution is, when you're feeling bad, sad, upset, anxious, annoyed, angry, irritated, or just sick and tired of all of it, is it possible to feel something different? Is it possible to snap your fingers and feel different? The answer is always yes, and I'll tell you how right now. Who wants to know? Oh, I see a few hands raised. You can always change how you feel. you can always change how you're feeling at any moment, is when you practice a different perspective. Practice having a different perspective. I was interviewed last week, and I gave this example. So somebody cuts you off in traffic, and, I mean, it's dangerous. They cut you off. You have to swerve, and now the reaction is you're pissed off, you're angry, you're mad. But what if I told you that person was speeding and cutting you off because their only child, they just got a call, was in the emergency room. They just got hit by a car. Well, instantly, your anger toward them cutting you off in traffic is going to be different in an instant. That's no different than you're in the house and you're arguing, having an argument with whoever's in the house with you. Maybe it's your husband, wife, having an argument, yelling and screaming, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings or the phone rings. How do you answer the phone? You switch it instantly. It's like, hello? So the practice of changing your perspective will always shift your energy. That's a promise. Let's get back to feeling dissatisfied. The selling of dissatisfaction, and it is rampant. You walk out of the house, I mean, there's just so much of selling from what you need to own, from what you need to look like, what you need to have, for what title you need to do, to be. It is endless. And all I'm saying and all I'm sharing today is that vibration of feeling satisfied in the moment happens when you practice, and I know this has been overused, but feeling gratitude and grateful for where you are in this moment. And that gratitude thing, I get it. Oh, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the trees. I'm grateful for the air. Thank you, universe. I get all that. But the practice is constant. It's a constant reminder when you're stuck. It's another simple solution. One of the practices I do, either in the morning, and you could do it in the morning, the afternoon, or night. It's easy. Walk outside, palms up to the air, and just ask the universe how. You ask the universe how. How can I feel? How can I vibrate satisfaction? How can I vibrate How can I vibrate feeling satisfied in the present moment? And guess what? I promise you, the universe you will always receive an answer. You will always receive a response. It may not be when you want it, but you will find, just like 5 months ago, from a custom-built home to a rental with cabinets that pop open. Oh, geez, don't make me list everything. One of the funniest things is just because I put the tape on the cabinet yesterday. So it's reminding me. But so in 5 months, I went from feeling very dissatisfied with this place to no problem. So you never know when the solution is going to flow through you, when the shift is going to when the shift is going to happen. But I promise you, it happens. Don't look for it. Don't wait for it. And that's when the practice of trust comes in. Trust. That's a practice that will always bring more happiness, will always bring more peace. I always say the same thing. It's a comment. I ask people, do you worry? Yeah, of course I worry. Well, guess what? That tells me that you're lacking trust if you worry, that you're not practicing trust if you worry, when you worry, because that's all worrying is. Number one, it's a program. Number two, you're just not trusting, and you're not trusting that everything is in divine order. Everything is in divine order. Even the things we don't want to experience, even the things we don't want to happen. And remember, it's not you don't want it. Your ego doesn't want it. Your critical mind doesn't want it. It's nothing to do with you. Who you are internally is not your ego. It's not your programming. There's a difference. What behaviors add to peace? What behaviors add to happiness? Making happiness a priority. Your acceptance of self, acceptance of others, living consciously, being okay with uncertainty. That's a big one. Being okay with not knowing. Vibrating. When I say being okay, it's vibrating. I'm cool. I don't need to know. I don't need to have a timeline, universe. I'm good. I trust. Letting go of what your ego tells you is important. Telling yourself the truth at all moments. You don't have to tell the truth to other people, but telling yourself the truth in all moments. Practicing a deep appreciation. And again, if it's a struggle, how do I? Just ask for help. Hey, universe, how do I appreciate this life more? How do I let go of feeling dissatisfied? How? The how questions, it's easy. And feeling relaxed, waiting for the answers. Shoulders down, waiting, being patient. You know, this is a custom journey. We are as different as our fingerprints here. And so my journey is going to look totally different than yours, but it's custom for me because the universe knows each and every one of our carrots. Carrots. Carrot is, it's dangling right in front of me. Oh, look at that carrot. I want that. Yes, I want that. I want that, universe. I want that. So the universe knows what carrot to put in front of you, just like the universe knows what carrot to put in front of me. I'm not going to bite at everything. I'm not. But there are certain things that the universe knows, and the reason, this is my philosophy. This is my thought. The universe is so loving that it knows exactly. When I say carrot, it's the same thing as thinking what's important. This is important to me. This is important to Rebecca. This is important, universe. And if what's important isn't universal, and if what's important is a program as opposed to a universal idea, you know the difference, man-made, program. If what's important is man-made, if what's important is a program, if what's important is what you learned, guess what? The universe is going to take that away. At least that's what it does for me. Oh, you think having a cabinet that works is important? Well, guess what? And if you're asking me, well, why don't you have the landlord coming in here to fix it? I did ask, and you know what the landlord told me? Because there were so many things I asked for. I mean, I had a list of probably 25 things here. And you know what my landlord told me, which taught me another lesson? You can live with that. You can live with it. Are you crazy? I can live with it. And the universe says, yeah, you can live with that. It's not that important. It's really not. Cabinet flying open, you could fix it with some Scotch tape. Let's go. Next. So that carrot, pay attention to what are your carrots. And that carrots represent dissatisfaction. I want this. I desire that. How about wanting and desiring whatever is in the present moment? How about wanting and desiring whatever's in the present moment? You really want to mess with your ego? You want to mess with the ego? Would you like to lessen the power of the ego? Because really what this journey is and this practice is to starve the ego of its power. Because the ego doesn't want peace, doesn't want to feel content, doesn't want to vibrate satisfaction. Can't get rid of my ego, so what I do is I starve it. Nope, not today, ego. I'm satisfied. And that has nothing to do with not taking action. What that is taking action with the vibration of satisfaction. Taking action with the vibration of dissatisfaction is not bringing any peace. There's a big difference. Taking action with the vibration of satisfaction in the moment is totally different than taking action because I'm dissatisfied with the moment. Oh, I should have said that at the beginning of the dissatisfaction talk. Nah. That's okay. And when I said that, I should have said that word should, that's an ego word. And the truth is, whenever I say whatever I say is the perfect timing. See how that works? Anytime you use that word should, you know that's authored by the ego. Your ego is not invested in your peace. Trust me on that one. The ego is never invested in your peace. Never. It's invested in, it feeds on, loves, can't get enough of, a buffet of, I'm in Las Vegas, a buffet of, there's something needs to be changed. Something needs to be different. And the truth is, let me see, hold on a second. The truth is the struggle is always internal. So your suffering comes from thinking that something needs to be different than what is actually happening in the moment. The truth is the vibration of satisfaction is not taught or practiced in today's world. At least I don't see it. Only on this show, Reality Spirituality, the truth about happiness. If you're not satisfied with the present moment, I guarantee you're not going to be satisfied with any of your future moments. So the practice is feeling, vibrating satisfaction in all moments. You know, when I talk about what to eliminate that subtract from your happiness, there's so many program behaviors. My suggestion, I just read this a couple of days ago, is to start with one or two. Just focus on one or two. Your favorites. Because what I get and what I hear from so many people when I tell them, one of the things, I was having an interview. In fact, let me just share this. Let me just say I am going to be interviewed on Tuesday. On, let's see, where's it? Oh, geez, I don't have it in front of me. Hold on a second, my dear audience. Let's see, what is this? It is, okay, here we go. It's called Back to Basics Mode, back with the number 2 basics with an S mode.com. Back to Basics Mode on Tuesday, June the 7th, 5:30 Eastern Time. It's going to be a live stream on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. So find me on Back to Basics Mode. I'll be interviewed this Tuesday at 5:30 Eastern Time, June the 7th. Okay, good. I made that announcement. Oh, I didn't forget. Yay. What was I saying? Oh, back to the behaviors that subtract from happiness. When I was being interviewed this last week, and one of the things I talked about was letting go of expectations, and the interviewer said, well, that's hard, and that's what I get a lot. When I share with people what to practice, I always get, that's hard. Yes, the practice is not easy. It is not a piece of cake. The practice is not easy. It requires hours, weeks, days, months, years, decades of looking in the mirror, for solutions, along with the help and guidance from the universe. Looking in the mirror is not easy for solutions. It's all, this world teaches to look out, look out, look out. Look out there. It's their fault. There's another person I was talking to, and he was saying that, well, they didn't tell me. They didn't let me know. You can tell by the way I'm using my voice. They didn't tell me. I hope he's not listening. It doesn't matter. I already told them face to face. It's not about anyone else. The blame on others just takes the responsibility away from you. You are powerful. You are powerful looking in the mirror for solutions. It's not up to anyone else. It's not up to anyone else to change or do something different. It's not their work. It's not their responsibility. How am I doing, Elaine? Selling Dissatisfaction in 2022 is live. It's happening. And the other thing I was thinking, especially coming out of this lockdown, this people being able to attend events and getting out, and whether you do or you don't, but, the world opening up, traveling now. One of the things that was really apparent, and this is huge, during all of that is just there was a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of vibrating, I'm not happy with what's going on, I'm not happy outside, I'm not happy with the world, I'm not happy with policies, I'm dissatisfied. And so now there's a lot of surge to find satisfaction. It's when the world opening up. Looking for satisfaction, however, in anything external is not going to bring you the peace that you're seeking. You'll find it for a second. You'll find it for a moment. You'll enjoy it for a minute or a moment or two or a day or maybe a week. But now when that shine wears off, when that trophy, the NBA Finals, when that trophy, the satisfaction comes and goes with the programming. So my focus is vibrating satisfaction in the moment, practicing that vibration of satisfaction in this moment. And practice it always. Take action, but take action with the vibration of satisfaction. Did that rhyme? Yes, it did. My father used to rhyme and read signs toward the end of his days, or maybe the last 10 years of his life. He used to rhyme and read signs. It would drive me crazy. And now I do the same thing. Now I'm rhyming. I rhyme and read signs. I don't read signs, but I definitely rhyme. That's the end of today's show. I want to thank you for listening to Reality Spirituality. It's heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington, LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. My YouTube channel is being updated. It's a work in progress, but trust me, I'm going to get there. And I'm vibrating satisfaction in this moment. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. My first book, Reality Spirituality: The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon. And I wrote a chapter in the book I read, which was released in March, and it's an Amazon bestseller now. It's called The Book I Read. So the book I read is a collaboration of 25, 30, 35 authors, just sharing their stories about their favorite book that influenced them, one of the books that influenced them the most. But until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient, and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Accept yourself in every moment. Practice vibrating satisfaction. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, global happiness specialist and inner peace practitioner, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Remember, happiness is a practice skill. And I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you will find, the more your experience in every moment will reflect on what you practice. Have a conscious week.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this.